Hello loves, welcome to UniekMakes by Cristina. Today is Temu die testing day. Yay! So you could go see if these Temu dies are actually worth the money. So I want to go ahead and test them out before you buy so you're not wasting yours. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what we're going to be cutting. Now this one is going to be the tassel. And then we do have some cute bunnies with the hearts. We also have like the dog and wolf. Fox and wolf. And then we have a bakery banner. And then we have a love background. And we have another love which kind of cuts on the side of the card. So let's go ahead and check these dies and let's see if they are worth it or not. Okay, so the first one we're going to try is the tassel. Now when testing dies that I haven't used before, I do like using usually white cardstock, just so that it's just to test it out, you know, and then you can see what how each thing cuts, and then it gives you a better understanding how to piece everything together. I usually do it with the Temu ones, the ones that I buy from like shops like ScrapDiva, My Creative Time, scrapbooking.com, and all of those other ones. Those, they usually already have tutorials on how to make a lot of the dies, so that's when I'll use my regular cardstock. But with Temu and AliExpress, they really don't show how to cut them or well, they show how it looks, but they don't always show all the details. So I like using the white cardstock just to see what it looks like. So the first one, now you look at this one here, this is a tassel. And when you look at it, it's like, what's really going on, right? So with me, I like to keep it as one piece, but technically you do cut it apart wherever you see the little thin, still, I like to call them stubbies. So you'll take that apart if you wanted to. But because this one here, more likely I'll cut it in multiple colors and use it in different ways, you know, use it in a lot of ways. I'll just keep it as one piece. But, you know, you do you, what you prefer. I'm going to go ahead and show you how this cuts. So let's see if it's worth it. Now you will need a pokey tool. And if you don't know what a pokey tool is, it's something that you can poke out the paper, because sometimes they do get stuck. And they do have, this one doesn't have it, but they usually have little holes in the back where you poke it out. Okay, so you want either a pokey tool, you could use tweezers, anything with a little point to poke it out, and then of course your scissors. So let's go ahead and try this one. So I'll cut it just to size. And then we'll pop it into the die cutting machine. Now with Temu, I like to do at least twice just to make sure it cuts. Now remember, if it doesn't cut right the first time, always test it out again, because I find that sometimes it could be an error that I did, or even an error on like if this is not leveled or something like that. Always do it at least twice so you know for sure. And this one, Like I said, it came out like butter. And look at that. Then you got your little tassel, which you roll it and then glue it. And this is going to be the top part. You see, it does leave an embossing. So this is, you know, this is where you're going to be gluing. And then as you roll it, you know, it'll form a tassel. So this is 2 thumbs up for this die. This die cut like butter. So that one's a 5. Now this one here is the love. Now I bought this one because I thought it looked really cool for a card. And let me show you how it's supposed to come out in order to explain it. But let me get something that's almost like a card size. Now say this is your top of your card, okay? And what this one is going to do, now this one does 2 things. It does cut your sentiment, but with this one here is that you'll level it on your paper like so, and then anything on the outside will cut out, okay? And then you will be lining, you will be lining the sentiment right in there. So let's go ahead and do this one. Okay, so this one, the outer part is, this part's going to come out, okay? And if it's not to the edge, like I didn't have it to the edge, you do need to cut it, which is no biggie. And you kind of go with the direction, because you'll see how it goes next. Okay, so say this is your card on the front. And then let me show you how the sentiment will go. Sentiment, I'll do another color. So I do like when it comes off of my plate like butter. So I will say butter. So usually that's a good sign because everything came out of place. You want to go ahead and poke out all the stuff that you don't want in the middle. So you always want to clean your die that you right after you're done using it, because you don't want to impact it. So how this works is you're going to glue this right there. Look at that. That's going to be like that. So that would be the front of your card. So how nice is that? So this one here, I give it a 5. That's 2 thumbs up. Look at that. So that's beautiful. I love that. Alright, so the next one we are going to try is this Love background die. Okay, this one's, well, yeah, it's kind of like a background die. And all of this got love, and then it does have the heart. So let me cut a piece of paper for that one. Now these dies have gotten a lot better from Temu. Before it used to be basically, it's almost, I mean, it still is you get what you pay for, but if you really look at the details on it, so far they've been coming out pretty good. Now the intricate dies, those are iffy for me because I've ordered intricate dies before and they didn't cut all the way. So this one we'll see because this is intricate. Okay, we'll look at this one. Now with the intricate dies, always be careful. Like I said, they don't always come out like butter, which I'm not thinking that they will all the time because how intricate it is. So go slow. So anything back here that you could poke out, go ahead and poke it out. And then see where the little holes are right here? There's where you want to put your pokey tool to pop the pieces out. Okay, and then we want to go ahead and pop all the little cuts in there, so all the E's and O's. And like I said, with the pokey tool, be careful, don't poke yourself. Okay, so once you poke everything out, make sure, yeah, look how this one looks. Look at that. That's all the love, love, love. Look at all the loves. So this one's actually really good, a really good die for this one. So this one is also a 5. Okay, so far we are 3 for 5. So the next one we're going to try out is this bakery banner. Now with this one, you will end up cutting all of these pieces, the strip, so you will be cutting each strip off unless you want to keep it as one. For the demonstration of just cutting it for the first time, I'm going to go ahead and keep it as one, but you can go ahead and do what you have to do. So let's go ahead and try this one. Okay, some of this already pop out, which is good to see. And look at, we got the cupcakes. We do have some, this die does come with extra, so this one comes with some whipped cream, which cut amazing. This is for the pies. Okay, so let's look at this one here. Okay, it came out like butter. That's a good thing. So let's go ahead and look at this one. So we do have our pies. Amazing. The rolling pin came out. That's awesome. And then we also have our chef hats. They came off. Then we have the cookies. Those are off there. And then we also have the little pie crust and all the little goodness off there. So we go ahead and pop those. And it'll come with the hearts for the pin, rolling pins. And everything came out. So everything came out, which is good. And yeah, everything came out perfect. So that is another 5. Look at that. That is a 5. And they even have the hearts. So that is a 5 for that one. Good deal, good deal. All right, so the next one, that one is a 5. So far there are 5s. The next one we are going to be checking is the Fox and Wolf. And let me clean up my magic mat real quick, and then I'll be right back. All right, so we'll test this one out. Let me cut that. Now this one does have extra pieces. This is when it's good to see what cuts out, so you know before you use your cardstock, or you'll know how to do your cardstock, or you should ink it or whatnot. So this is a good way to do it with white paper. Okay, let's just go ahead and test that one out. Okay, let's see this one. Took it two out. Okay, so everything did come off of this one. Now this one here, okay, so let me show you this one. Okay, this one here cut out perfect, but when you do it on white cardstock, you could see all the embossing. If you notice how those ears, the little ears came out, you could also cut those ears in another color and piece them back in. Okay, this one here, see how I didn't let them come off, or you could color it. Either way, you could use another cardstock, ink it with your marker, watercolor markers, your ink pads, anything. Alright, but this actually cut really good. And all of these are just like putting in a puzzle. And it does have the embossed line, so you know where the stuff does go and whatnot. Yeah, so you just piece it. You got the legs there. So yeah, this was actually a 5. So I do really like this one also. And you know, you got your eyes there, so you could color the eyes a different color. This once you get used to this, you find your little ways of how to make stuff. All right. So this one's also a 5. Everything did cut out perfect. Alright, so we got one more to try out. The next one we're going to do is the lovely bunnies. And like the wolf, the bunnies also, you know, after cutting it once with the white cardstock, you can see, you could go ahead and see what you have to do next. Okay, let's do the bunny. Fingers crossed, because then they'll be all of them will be 5s. Let's see. So everything did cut out like butter. Look at that. Fantastic. That's awesome. Now let me get my pokey tool because I don't want to rip this. Since I got the magic mat, it does stick down there a little bit. So, but if you used your regular plate, you should be fine. Now this one gets a fine line and gets into my mat. Well, I ripped it because it went in my mat. Let me do it with the second sheet real quick. think it's almost time to call this mat quits, but let me go ahead and cut it one more time. Get this slice real quick. So if you have the magic mat, it sometimes, like I said, it does get stuck inside, which rips the little fine lines. So it's almost telling me to switch it out. But if you got the plate, it will come out perfect. But let me just cut it one more time. Bunny off. Take everything off of my dies. There. Now that came out better. Okay, so if you got the regular plate, this will come out a lot easier, but because my magic mat is got a lot of indentions, it does take a little bit to come out. Poke out the middles here. Okay, perfect. There we go. Now we got both bunnies here. Like I said, the little ears did pop out. The hearts popped out there, but you do get the 2 hearts. It pops out so you could color it and put a piece of back. You do get another heart on the side. Okay, and then the ears too, you could color it and piece it back. But look at that. So that is a 5. So yeah, those, all of them came out perfect. And if you have the magic mat like I do, sometimes, you know, it does embed into the mat. So it does, you know, you gotta be really careful or it'll rip the little intricate pieces. But other than that, yeah, these were all really nice dies. They weren't that expensive and they all work, so they're, in my eyes, these dies are worth it. So I give them 2 thumbs up. I'll leave the product link below and the unboxing or the haul video. Also, I'll link that below. Leave a comment, let me know what you think about the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification so you know when I upload a video. And with that, you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.